Welcome to the Meditation Realm, Planeswalkers. I'm Caleb, your guide through these blind eternities. And in today's video, we're opening up another one of the Fallout Commander decks. This time, we're opening up the Scrappy Survivors with the good boy dog meat. We're going to check out the sweet new cards in here. Fallout's been a lot of fun. There's definitely some sweet new cards. A lot of people enjoy the art. Fallout itself was a phenomenal franchise, and they've definitely well-timed with their TV show coming out on Prime. So I know a lot of people are hyped up to be able to play these cards. We've also got new stuff coming out here soon, but let's check out Fallout for today. Alright, deck box has their usual stuff. We got the deck box, generously called a deck box. Our roll down, or spin down wheel. Our collector sample pack, which is always nice. Sometimes you can get some real goodies in those. And then the usual insert punch outs. Alright. So, first card that we're going to check out is the face of the commander, Dog Meat, ever loyal. Dog Meat is a 3/3 for Anaya, red, green, and white. When it enters the battlefield, mill 5, and then return an aura or equipment card from your graveyard to your hand. And whenever a creature you control that's enchanted or equipped attacks, create a junk token. So basically, you want to suit up your guys as a Tron, Naya Tron deck, and that way you can get that extra card advantage with the junk. Those junk tokens are really effective. It's it's not draws that play from the top effects. And then our second card, the commander choice, is Preston Garvey, the Minuteman. He is a 4/4 for 5. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a green aura enchantment token named Settlement attached up to one target land you control. It has enchant land, and enchanted land has tap, add 1 mana of any color. Whenever Preston Garvey, Minuteman, attacks, untap each enchanted permanent you control. So you can enchant a bunch of your lands, use them to add for mana. He attacks, you untap all your lands, you get to use them again. So, not a bad effect. He can definitely be very, allow you to be able to ramp a lot. Granted, the trigger is only at the beginning of combat, so it might be better if you use him to do extra combat so you can get multiple triggers. Brotherhood Outcast, it's a human soldier for 2 and a white, 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, you choose 1. Return target or equipment card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, or put a shield counter on target creature. Well, that's good. So you can return those permanents that got destroyed by your opponents that are cheap, like your good old swords and whatnot, or you can just put a shield counter on something to make it so they can attack. I like this guy. That's pretty good. Not a bad uncommon. We have Commander-Scrappy Dagere, legendary creature, human pilot for 3 and a white. She's a 1/3 with flash. When she enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target legendary permanent. That permanent's controller creates a junk token. Alright, so she comes in and she easily blows something up. I like that. And she's got flash. So she come in, destroy one of your opponent's commanders, block something. Yeah, they get a junk token out of it, so they're not completely lost, but still, not bad. And it's any legendary permanent, so you can hit some of those pesky legendary lands that people like to abuse. We have Acquired Mutation. It's an enchantment aura for enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and is goaded. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, defending player gets 2 red counters. Okay. It's another way to spread that radiation counters with this in red. Crimson Carabiner. Double strike trample 1/2 for 2 and a red. When it deals combat damage to a player, create a junk token. Oh, that's not bad. So, I mean, it's only 1 power, but double strike means you're going to hit twice. You're going to get 2 junk tokens. You can use those tokens to be able to play stuff from your library. So it helps you with staying in that card advantage zone. It's not card draw, but it is card advantage. We have Ian the Reckless. He's a 2-drop legendary human warrior, 2/1. When it attacks, if it's modified, you may have it deal damage equal to its power to you and any target. Oof. Yeah, I don't know about that one. But, because I wouldn't, want to damage myself in regards to that. Did he lose his finger in that? No. He's just really... It almost looks like he's lost his finger. He's just playing the game. Okay. I was like, man... I definitely wouldn't want to play that game with him if he's losing his own fingers. He's not very good. Alright, so we have Big Horner Rancher. He's a 2/5 for 4 and a green with Vigilance. You can tap him to add an amount of green equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. So this guy can add a lot of mana. You can sack him, and you can gain life equal to the greatest toughness among other creatures you control. So, if he's by himself, he can tap to add 2 green, assuming you have no other creatures. Otherwise, he could add a lot more. And then like you can sack him in response to a board wipe to gain some life. Meh. He's okay. He's not bad, he's just okay. Breakdown is an instant for 2 and a green. You destroy target artifact or enchantment, and then you create a junk token. And it's kind of on the mediocre side for removal. It's essentially like a half a card draw with tacked onto a naturalize. Yeah, I'm not big on that one. Alright, Gunner Conscript is a human mercenary, 2/2 for 1 and a green with trample. It gets +1/+1 for each aura and equipment attached to it. When it dies, if it was enchanted, create a junk token, and if it dies, if it was equipped, create a junk token. So as long as you're enchanted or equipped, when it dies, you're getting a junk token, and it gets bigger for each aura equipped and equipment. Alright, that's not bad. Definitely a good filler card for this type of deck. Super Mutant Scavenger is a 5/5 for 5 with trample. When it enters the battlefield or dies, return to 1 target or equipment card from your graveyard to your hand. Unfortunately, that's to the hand and not the battlefield. That would definitely make it a lot stronger. Well Rested is an aura for 1 and a green. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature has, whenever this creature becomes untapped, put 2 1/1 counters on it, then you gain 2 life and draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. So no shenanigans to gain a bunch of life and draw a bunch of cards and get a guy huge. Only once each turn. Boo. Boo, Wendy. We have the Agility Bobblehead. One of the Bobblehead cycles. 3 mana rock. You can pay 3 and tap this one. Up to X target creatures you control each gain haste until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with haste. X is the number of bobbleheads you control as you activate this ability. And this one looks like you can activate it at instant speed, but doesn't do much good to give haste on your opponent's turns, really. So I like the bobbleheads. I think they're going to see a lot of play. I'm going to build a bobblehead deck. We have Perception Bobblehead, another 3-drop bobblehead mana rock. You can pay 3 and tap this one. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of bobbleheads you control. You may cast a spell, mana value 3 or less from among them without paying its mana cost. You may put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Nice. Again, I like these bobbleheads. This is one of my favorite cards from this set. The Silver Shroud costume is a flash equipment. When it enters the battlefield, attach it to a target creature you control. That creature gains Shroud until end of turn. And the equipped creature can't be blocked. So this comes in, it just basically serves as a flash counter spell for removal for 2 mana in any color, because you give your creature Shroud, they attempt to STP or whatnot. It's like, alright, I'm going to flash this in, equip my creature, void your removal spell, and now I can't be blocked on my next turn when I attack. I mean, the Shroud only lasts until end of turn, so you're not going to keep that forever. It's not going to save your guy forever, but it is going to do some work. I really like this equipment. I'm definitely going to be putting that into play somewhere. Probably my Liberator deck. We have All That Glitters. Here we're into the reprint territory. Good old enchantment. Oh, my camera's having a hard time catching up here. Alright, Path to Exile. Valorous Stance. Sticky Fingers. Abundant Growth. Fertile Ground. Rancor. Good old Rancor. Squirrel's Nest. Oh, man. Those are some terrible squirrels. I think my cat would be not one to mess with those ones. All this pus boil. Ugh. Wild Growth. Behemoth Sledge. Arcane Signet. Brass Knuckles. I've seen Brass Knuckles get printed a few times on these Commander decks as of late, the last several Commanders, and it's just not a very good equipment. I don't think they should be thrown in as much. Explorer's Scope. Fire Shrieker. This has been also printed a couple times, but it's good to get this again. Double Strike is not a common effect. Soul Ring. Codsworth, the Handy Helper. So we're on to the new cards again. He's a rare 2 and a white legendary artifact creature. 2/3 robot. Commanders you control have Ward 2. And you can tap him to add 2 white. Spend this mana only to cast aura and or equipment spells. You can tap him to attach target or equipment you control to target creature you control, but you can only do it as a sorcery. If it was instant speed, that might have been too busted, because then you can just move your protection around and essentially pseudo make your guys untargetable. The commander having ward is nice as well. And then we have Idolized Aura for 1 and a white. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature has, whenever this creature attacks alone, it gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of non-land permanents you control. Pre-war formal wear. It's an equipment. When it enters the battlefield, return target creature with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield and attach pre-war formal wear to it. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has vigilance. It's equipped 3. So, I mean, the bonus isn't that powerful, but being able to reanimate one of your creatures that, died from a board wipe to be able to get your equipments back onto again can be really powerful. I do like this card. Vault 101, the birthday party. Create a 1/1 as a saga for a 3 and a white. The first chapter is create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token and a food token. And the second and third chapter are you may put an aura or equipment card from your hand on or graveyard onto the battlefield. If an equipment is put onto the battlefield this way, you may attach it to a creature you control. So this is really strong. You get to cheat in, you get to make yourself a token. 2 tokens, because you're going to get a food and a treasure, or a food and a human. And then you're going to be able to either return equipments that have been blown up, or cheat in auras and equipments from your hand for 4 mana. I really like this card. I think this could see some play. Duchess, the Wayward Tavern Keep. She is a 4/3 legendary creature, human citizen for 3 and a red. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a quest counter on it, and you can pay 1, remove a quest counter from a permanent you control to create a junk token. So she helps you with that pseudo card advantage there. Grim Reaper Sprint is an aura for 4 and a red. This spell costs 3 less to cast if a creature died this turn. Enchant creature when it enters the battlefield. Untap each creature you control. If it's your main phase, there's an additional combat phase after this phase. Enchant a creature gets +2/+2 and has haste. So you can go to combat, you do your normal combat tricks. A creature will die. You can main phase 2, play another creature, or this. Give it a buff on top of your creatures. So yeah, I like this. It's a good way to take advantage of, getting your opponent's board blown out, not thinking that you have any more combat tricks, and you're like, bam, new creature, extra combat, attack with everybody. Junk Jet is an equipment for 1 and a red. When it enters the battlefield, you create a junk token, and you can pay 3, sacrifice another artifact, double equip creature's power until end of turn, and it costs 1 to equip. So it can cost a lot of mana to. It's an expensive effect to double. Pay 3, sacrifice another artifact to double equip creature's power. So 3 mana and a sacrifice, but I can add equip. Doubling power goes quick. Megaton's Fate is a sorcery for 5 and a red. You choose 1. You either destroy target artifact and create 4 treasure tokens, or it deals 8 damage to each creature, and each player gets 4 rat counters. That's okay. Vault 21, House Gambit, is a saga. The first 2 chapters are discard a card, then draw a card. The third chapter is reveal up to 5 non-land cards from your hand. For each of those cards that have the same mana value as another card revealed this way, create a treasure token. Veronica, Dissident Scribe, is a legendary creature, our human artificer rogue, 3/3 for 2 and a red. She has menace. When she attacks, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Whenever you discard 1 or more non-land cards for the first time each turn, create a junk token. She's not bad. I think she'll fit straight into those discard matter themes, but not so much as a commander herself. We have Animal Friend. I don't know, that squirrel's not looking too friendly. It's an aura for 1 and a green. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature has, whenever this creature attacks, create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. Put a 1/1 counter on that token for each aura and equipment attached to this creature other than Animal Friend. So you can make yourself a nice little animal squirrel friend to murder your opponents. I like that. Strong Back, one of the new auras. 2 and a green, enchant creature. Enchanted equip abilities, you activate that target enchanted creature, cost 3 less to activate. Aura spells that you cast that target enchanted creature, cost 3 less to cast. And enchanted creature gets +2/+2 for each aura and equipment attached to it. So you attach this to something, everything else is going to be super easy to target it. So especially in a deck like this with a lot of equipments, you pay 2 and a green, you enchant this to your creature. Now all your equip abilities should be free to equip to your guy. You're going to equip 3 equipments to him. All the equipment effect plus an additional +6/+6 with the strong back. Definitely get some heavy damage done in quick. We have Almost Perfect. It's an aura for 4 green and a white. An enchanted creature has base power and toughness 9, 10, and has indestructible. Yeah. I would definitely like to put that on something for cheap. 6 mana though. I mean, granted, if you paid 6 mana for a 9, 10 indestructible, you'd be pretty happy. Armory Paladin is a human knight for 3 mana. He's a 3/3 with trample. Whenever you cast an aura or equipment spell, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until the end of your next turn. Okay. We have Kite, Cage Brawler. It's a human warrior for red and a green. As long as it's your turn, he's indestructible. Or she? I think it's she. Yeah, Kate. Pretty sure it's Kate. That's her. Yeah. Whenever Kate attacks, you and defending player each draw a card, then discard a card. Put 2 1 counters on Kate if you discarded the card with the highest mana value among those cards or tied for the highest. Okay. So she just brawls and gets bigger. Cass, the Hand of Vengeance, is a legendary human ranger for 2 red and a white. He's a 4/3 with vigilance, or she. I think it's a she. Whenever Cass or another creature you control dies, if it was enchanted or equipped, return any number of aura cards that were attached to it from your graveyard to the battlefield, attached to target creature. Then attach any number of equipment that were attached to it to that creature. It's okay. Inventory management. I think this is going to be a stronger one, especially just because it has split second. Red and a white instant split second for each aura and equipment you control. You may attach it to target creature you control. So like I was saying earlier, this is the response to, opponent plays a removal. You play this, you attach all of your equipment that gives protection to your guy that they're targeting. All of a sudden their responses are moot because it now has protection from those. I like it. Very good. We have Moira Brown, the guide author. 2/3 for 3 mana, legendary human citizen. Whenever she enters the battlefield, create a colorless equipment artifact token named Wasteland Survival Guide with equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each quest counter among permanents you control, and equip 1. Whenever you attack, put a quest counter on target non-land permanent you control. And we have 3 Dog, the Galaxy News DJ. He's also a 3-drop legendary creature. He's a human bard. Whenever you attack, you may pay 2 and sacrifice an aura attached to 3 Dog. When you sacrifice an aura this way, for each other attacking creature you control, create a token that's a copy of that aura to that creature. So you go wide with a bunch of dudes, you enchant this with something, and then you can sack that aura to be able to, when you attack, to buff all the other guys with it as well. Could definitely be strong, but it feels very hard to build around. We have Mr. Gutsy. It's an artifact creature for 2. Whenever you cast an aura equipment spell, put a 1/1 counter on Mr. Gutsy, and when he dies, create X Junko tokens where X is the number of 1/1 counters. So you play your auras, you play your equipments, he gets bigger, and when he dies, he gives you that pseudo card advantage. He's okay. Now this is debatably the best card in the whole set. I think Nuka-Cola is the other one. Pip-Boy 3000 is equipment for 1 mana. Whenever the equipped creature attacks, you get to choose 1. You either draw a card, then discard a card, put a 1/1 counter on that creature, or untap 2 lands. 2 target lands, and equips for 2. So you pay 1 to play it, 2 to equip, you attack. Worst case scenario, you can just untap 2 lands, and it equips for free basically. You have that mana to use again. You get it's not card advantage, but card filtering with the draw a card, then discard a card, and the 1/1 counter on a creature. Again, this card's amazing. Definitely worth playing. Junktown, new land. Tap stat a mana, or you can pay 5 and sack it to create 3 junk tokens. The new Sun-Scorched Divide to help go with this cycle of lands that tap to add 2 colors. And now we're back in reprint territory. We have Mantle of the Ancients, Pure Steel Paladin, Single Combat, Blasphemous Act. Goes in every red deck basically. Chaos Warp, Heroic Intervention, Basilisk Collar, with the good boy on him. Bloodforged Battle Axe, Champion's Helm, Masterwork of Ingenuity, Canopy Vista, Cinderglade, Clifftop Retreat. So yeah, the lands have gone kind of so-so. I really feel that these decks should probably have some better lands. They weren't bad, but the Doctor Who was definitely a lot better built as far as their mana bases. I still feel like these gave us too many basic lands. I wonder if this is going to have north of 12 like the last one did. I think the last one had 14. I don't play Temple in any decks anymore, really. I don't think it's worth playing. Tell me in the comments below what you guys do. Do you play Temple anywhere? So we got 4 mountains. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 forests. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 plains. So 12 basic lands again. I think they probably could have cut that down by 3, 4. Maybe 3, just on 3 of each. But again, you know, people like to use their basics, and it's definitely an easy fill. I'm big on lands because if you can't play your deck, then it makes it really hard. And this deck has a lot of 3-color stuff. Alright, we're going to check out what we got in the collector booster here. Some sample sweet goodness. Alright, we're going to get it's a rare. Start off with, we got Codsworth, the Handy Helper, and his Borderless frame. Okay. And then our second card is also a rare and foil. We have Marshall's Anthem from the Commander deck in the Borderless. Okay, sweet. This is a good reanimate card. You know, you spend 6-8 mana, return up to 1/2 target creatures, and then buff your board. Not as strong, you know, definitely with the power creep, it's not as strong as it used to be when it was Commander was first thing, but still playable. Thank you for joining me, Planeswalkers. I'm always glad to have you here. Like, share, and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you here on the next video.